Very warm welcome to you wherever you're watching Trading Cup 2020 powered by ACY Securities. We have a few hours of incredible trading coming your way. I'm Nadine Blaney from ausbiz.com.au, and here with me now is Ashley Jesson. He is Chief Operating Officer here at ACY Securities. You may recognize him from last year's Trading Cup 2019. He's been in the trading industry for decades, also authored a couple of books. Have I missed anything off the list?
No, I think you've captured that pretty nicely, Nadine.
All right,
great to be here.
It is an exciting evening or day wherever you are around the world.
Indeed.
Talk to us about just what Trading Cup 2020 is.
Yeah, Trading Cup 2020, it is what we call the ultimate trading contest. We actually call it the UFC of trading. We put everyone in a pit pretty much. We've got the best traders in the world, 36 of the best traders tonight. We'll be battling it out for an incredible amount of prize money. We've got $90,000 up for grabs tonight, with $63,000 going to first place. So there's a lot on the line, there's a lot of pressure, and that's why we call it the UFC of trading. It's going to be an exciting night.
That does paint a picture, doesn't it?
Just to give you a bit of history, 2018, 29% won in the hour. In the first year we ran it, 9.3% last year. Tonight, I'm actually thinking double figures in the hour for sure.
Now there has been, you've mentioned the inherent volatility that comes around non-farm payroll, but to your point about GameStop, there has been a lot of volatility in markets out
Yes.
there. Do you think that psychologically might start to impact trading as well?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, GameStop rallied up to $483 or something like that. Now it's about $53.50. There's a lot of comments on Reddit and on Twitter. Look, some people are holding it there. It's largely those amateurs. They've never traded before and they're just jumping on the bandwagon.
These are not amateurs that we're with
No,
tonight.
no. We've got professionals tonight. These are the best of the best around the world.
Listen, Tim Cahill is ACY Securities Global Brand Ambassador. None of us can be in the same room right around the world for obvious reasons, so Tim has sent us a message from the UK.
Hello to all the grand finalists, former Trading Cup participants, and of course the many thousands of viewers who are watching right around the world. A big massive congratulations to all the finalists who have qualified and made it to the grand final this year. Regardless of whether you win or not, to make it this far is an extraordinary achievement in itself. This is truly the world stage when it comes to a global live trading competition. To get to this level, you need a strong mindset, discipline, and of course determination. You have proved you have what it takes. Now it's time to see how far you can go. Good luck to all the finalists, and I'll be looking forward to seeing who wins. Take care.
Tim Cahill there, ACY Securities Global Brand Ambassador. Does it take a little bit of luck, Ash?
Oh, that's a great question. I think it does. With an hour, you've got to think, how are you going to trade your account for that hour? There's going to be a little bit of luck. We did interview a few people last year, and you know, you've got to have your strategies line up with the market and conditions at the time. A few conditions have to line up perfectly, and the winner will let us know how they did it, but I think yes.
We'll see how the stars align for the traders out there very shortly. Shall we bring in another of our commentators that will be walking you through all of the trading action through the next hour or so? Johan Koo is joining us. He is also from ACY Securities. He is an institutional business manager who has worked for some of the biggest banks and brokerages around the world. He's been in finance for quite some time with a master's degree in finance now. Johan enjoys options trading, stock picking, but also fundamentals. And fundamentals are important tonight, aren't they?
Yeah, 100%. Fundamentals will be one of the most important things trading with the NFP because it will give us understanding on how the labor market in the US is.
Now, I'm standing out hanging beside this trophy that will go to the eventual winner of the grand final of Trading Cup 2020.
Yes.
But it's not just the trophy, is it?
No. There's a lot of pride on the line. There is some money, of course. There's some cash. But I think these people change as a trader. They get that belief. And some people who are trading in Australia, they will know that there's been other live trading competitions with real money. One particular trader that I know of actually was given a $10 million fund to trade off the back of an excellent result in a trading competition. So you're right, it's not just a trophy, it's not even just the cash, it's that confidence to potentially change their life and actually run maybe their own prop desk or run their own fund or be given funds with which to trade. So that's an exciting story that we won't actually hear tonight, but could evolve.
Well, we have it. We are on the cusp of trading beginning in this Trading Cup 2020 powered by ACY Securities. Trade is underway. Listen, guys, we've got a great evening. Round one is now in your hands. Take it away.
Let's get into it.
Let's get into it. Thank you.
So let's take a look at who we have in round one. Okay, first off we have Yiting Lau. Comes from Taiwan, one of the traders with Joyce and her crew. They've got a whole education area there. Loves trading Forex. Candlesticks are her preferred. Loves using the Fibonacci retracements. So it'd be good to see some of the Fibonacci retracements on the charts. Technical analysis is her favorite.
Fantastic. The next trader we're looking at is Po Seng Shi, also from Taipei, Taiwan. Does look like they prefer trading the indices, the Dow, the Hong Kong and the Nasdaq. Indicators they do like is MACD, average true range, and the preference of trading styles intraday, short-term day trading.
Let's now go across to Heibo Wang. Heibo Wang loves to trade gold, the British pound and the euro. They will definitely be the ones to watch tonight. Technical analysis seems to be a big one today. Loves the shorter time frames of day trading. He's one of us, works in the finance industry and loves candlestick charting by the look of it.
Fantastic. Next we have Jian Ying Yuan. Now, their preference of trading is gold, oil, indices, and Forex. So it looks like they enjoy trading the whole market. The type of trading strategies they do use is, categorize different trading instruments and open positions accordingly, basically freestyle, and the preference of trading style is a moderate risk taker.
Nice, nice. Next we have Junwei Shin. Let's have a look. Gold is their preferred instrument. That will be the big one tonight. The types of trading strategies they use, I think they prefer reversal trading. So when the market's moving one way, maybe it finds a bit of support and then they're looking to get in on the reversal there. Scalping in an hour. We'll have to watch out for this person. I think he could be one of the front runners.
Fantastic. The next trader we're looking at is Wei Wang. Now, she is also, as you mentioned, what's going to be very volatile today is gold. The type of strategies they'll implement is looking at resistance and support levels and breakouts there. And the trading style preferred is a conservative style of trading.
Nice, that makes sense. Yeah. Very good. And we have Shin Gong. Once again, gold, euro, dollar, dollar yen. Dollar yen's been up 300 pips in the last month. So we're going to be watching that one. That's on a fast breakout. Day trading, short-term investments. It looks like this guy's really dialed into that shorter time frame. Another one to watch, I think. Let's see how he goes.
And lastly, we have Lei Day Kao from local Sydney, Australia. Likes trading the Aussie dollar, gold, and also Brent oil. Now, the types of trading strategies they use is they like to go in trends and also arbitrage trading.
Nice. Yeah, that'll be interesting. Not sure how many pairs I'll be able to maybe arbitrage. You really need a big move one way on one, maybe the indices. Get a bit of arbitrage going on there, maybe.
Yeah.
I do love pairs trading where you do take a long on, say, the S&P 500 and maybe short the Aussie 200 as an example.
Yeah.
When news drops on the US and then the Aussie's out of whack, you can go long and short one of the others. It is interesting, so we'll see how that one goes. Here we can see the dashboard. Just once again, this is what we'll be watching a lot of. In terms of the ranking there, we'll start to see the percentage gain. At the moment, it doesn't appear that any trades. Looks like one person has taken a trade there. Just to remind you, as a couple of housekeeping rules, we might run through a few of the things that the viewers that are streaming in might want to know about the Trading Cup. So
yeah, Ash, so how much would each trader be starting off with?
Each trader, they've got $5,000. So we set the entry at this part between $5,000 and $10,000, but most people will have $5,000 in their base currency in their account to trade. So because you sort of need an amount that you can actually take some positions. Yeah, if it's too small, if it's 1,000 or 2,000, you can't diversify and give yourself enough positions to try and see your edge into the market. So yeah. $5,000 to $10,000 tonight is where we'll see all the traders at. But over the hour of trading, what some of these guys can do is they can build their expert advisor such that it's trading over 1 hour. And having spoken to, his name's Gustavo, who'll be in the third round a little bit later today. So I'm excited to see how they go. We've got a couple of other algorithmic traders who will be joining us. So I'm actually very curious. I've never used and coded my own expert advisor. So I'm actually very curious to see how they go.
Yeah, 100%.
I would like to recount what happened to the winning trader. The guy who traded gold, we'll see him a little bit later today. Not only did he win twice, but what he actually did, I'll actually take you through the trade because it was pretty interesting. It was back in July last year. So hopefully you can see, let's have a look. Just stand over here, Johan. I'm not sure if we can bring up the screen that we've got showing here, but I'd like to show this position on gold if possible. Well, we've got it on the screen here, but that's actually, what are we looking at there? That's a 1 minute chart. Okay.
Haven't seen them in a while.
No, that's right. That is a short time frame, but very akin to what they'll be trading. But I do want to, let me just explain it. If we can get that screen up, that'll be great. But what we did see with gold, he started adding to the position. So this is different to martingale. This is pyramiding into a winning position.
Okay.
I love that.
Yep.
Anytime you're winning, it feels great. But when you're winning and adding to the winning position, nothing is better. So this particular gentleman started adding to the winning position early in the month.
Yep.
He was making some trades and winning. And look at gold rocket up through that period of time. It literally took him right to the end of the month. He continued adding to the winning position. Ironically, he traded the least of all of our winners. He only traded 6 times in the whole month, which means he only took 6 positions there. It was pretty amazing. Our most active trader, on the other hand, traded 1,037 times in the month.
Wow.
So, and on average, our winners were doing about 20 trades per day. But on this particular trade, that's where he turned about 3,000 Aussie dollars into just under $100,000 in the month. As well, this is the leader. So as the position moved against them, they held tight, and maybe at this point in time, they started adding to the position as it moved in their favor. Guess what? Gold went in their favor. They loaded up. We were looking at maybe at least 5 contracts to start with, right, on gold. But then it looked like it was 2 contracts. There's maybe 3 lots of 2 contracts. So that's 6 contracts long, plus a couple of other positions there. There was a few, well, we see 2 minis, I think a couple of those going through as well. So that's pretty interesting. There's been no movement so far as the middle of the dashboard there.
It looks like a lot of these traders are sort of saying, all right, that's it. I've locked in my profit above 20%.
Yes.
That gives me a good chance.
Yeah. They're getting the trend right over a short time frame, and fortunately, as we can see, they're locking in those gains. So, you know, that's and in fact, their position would be winning more now, because we saw gold, it's just popped back above where they started exiting.
Yeah.
But they've locked in the gains. They're ahead of the game.
So is that the strategy that they would have likely gone into this round with, you think? You hit over a certain percentage gain and just lock it in?
If you're smart and you did pay attention to previous years, you would know that 9 to 20% is the sweet spot. If you're hitting at that level, I think you're going to be on the right side. But we did talk about luck, right, early on. This is where you've just got to have your strategy line up with your position sizing at that point in time to be able to lock in those gains. And then you can't sort of just let that position run out of your control. They're locking that in because they know that's an incredible gain.
We are live here at ACY Tower in Sydney. This is Trading Cup 2020. I'm Nadine Blaney from ausbiz.com.au. Round 1 is done and dusted. We are getting into round 2 now. Joining me here are your next team of contributors. We have Alistair Schultz, who is the Chief Market Strategist here at ACY Securities. We also have with us Ala Darwish, who is the head of the global brokerage at ACY Securities. So you're basically managing the desk through here in Australia, obviously Asia, and to the Middle East as well.
Yes, totally.
And Alistair, well, familiar face to me. Great to see you here.
It's lovely to see you here as well. I'm so glad that you're here. It's so much fun to be at this competition.
It sure is. There is an excitement in this room. Of course, we've got traders joining us from all around the globe and here at ACY Tower in Sydney. So we've got to get and cut to the chase because round one has come to an end. What stands out?
Right now, the biggest thing that stands out to me is that we have Haibo Wang, who has managed to massively pull off 24.14% straight off the bat. Now, this is a very, very good result. We've got 3 other guys running up the lead behind them. But interestingly enough to me, they're all trading gold.
Okay, what else has come through in round one?
In round one, we've obviously the second guy also on gold. We've had a couple of other guys on here that have ended up dropping out, unfortunately. We'd like to thank them for being a part of the competition. They've done a fantastic job tonight either way. But the next guy in line that we have here Shu Gong, who has managed to pull off 15.48%. And the third place runner-up is Jianping Yuan, who has managed to get well so far in the competition.
And there has been some trading of Forex, yeah?
Yes, there has been. We've seen pounds being traded a fair bit, the euro as well, which is nice to see. But coming up into the non-farm payroll event, we're going to have to consider what some of these other markets might actually have. Personally, looking at what's going on tonight from a macro sort of a level, we can see already that we've got a little bit the non-farm payroll event for the US, but we're also seeing unemployment and the same sort of figures for Canada. So I believe that we might see some action getting closer to the NFP result on the dollar CAD, for example.
And in this next hour, so round two, Ala, do you anticipate that we'll see people taking big positions, trading more frequently as the hour progresses? Is that how it usually goes, or is it hard to say?
Yeah, look, within the next hours, there's not going to be a lot of news. It's all going to be kind of relaxed until leading up to the NFP. Of course, people will continue trading with the gold. It's been, you know, the hit of the year. So yeah, I'm expecting a lot of volatility. I'm expecting big trades on gold, actually.
Is going to be into the Trading Cup competition that we've already got underway. Now, I like the idea of thinking about who is going to be trading and where we might be seeing them make their money from. So let's take a brief look at how they are actually going already at the very start and go through a quick look at what their names might be and give a bit of a profile on them. Now, the first guy I'm thinking about having a look at here is Chen Tao Lu. He looks to be very ready to get into the trading action. Right now, he's technically saying what we're seeing on the chart here is that he preferably prefers Forex and preferably on the pound dollar. Now, the pound dollar is probably going to be something that's quite active tonight, so keep an eye on him. He uses ATRs, he uses support and resistance. He's a technical trader. This is a nice thing to see. Your next one.
All right, we'll go for the next one. And just to follow up on Chen Tao Lu, he's actually already been trading, and he already been trading on the euro, US dollar, and on gold, and currently already made a profit of $130. So looks very promising.
So he's already on his way. He's gotten kicked in.
Second one we have is Yang Lin. He's from Chengdu, China. He trades Forex. He trades using an EA and also manually, and he's an aggressive trader from the looks of it.
And I think using an expert advisor in this type of competition is going to be important. Some of these guys are going to be trying to trade multiple markets at once. Now, the next guy we're looking at today is Jin Bu Kai. He is a gold trader, an oil trader, euro dollar and a dollar yen. He's quite versatile in his trading. He tends to stick with the trends, day trading, long-term investment sort of strategy, so he's mixing himself. So this might mean for today's session, he's going to have to really nut down and focus. Instead of being a day trader or a long-term investing kind of guy, he's going to have an hour to really pull it all off.
Interesting. And then we have Zheng Feng Wu. He's from Jiangsu, China. He trades gold, also trades oil. He looks like he likes to do some good risk management.
So he's going to be interested in his money management principles more so than his entries. This might mean he's using something along the lines of a martingale or something where he tries to pyramid into his positions.
So it looks like he only closes positions when they're in profit as well.
Xiao Tao Yu, our next guy, euro dollar. That's what he's going to be trading tonight. So let's see how he goes, particularly considering we've got pound action happening with the Bank of England statements coming out tonight and non-farm payroll. Euro might be on the more quieter side of things. Now, he's going with the trends on heavy positions. Because he's using heavy positions, this might be one of the fellas to look out for.
All right, next we have Xie Jun Zhang. Xie Jun Zhang is from Guangzhou, China. He trades gold mainly, and he trades short to medium-term kind of investment. And he's also a moderate risk taker, so it looks like he doesn't hold a lot of risk when he's trading.
Now we also have Du Lin Lu. He is the next one to be having a look at gold. trading gold all the time. We're going to see a lot of gold traders tonight. They do have a general interest in it, small positions. He's going to be aggressive with his trading strategies, he's saying. So expect to see some big positions from him. Now, the next guy that we're going to be looking at is Jin Min Ren. She is going to be doing quite well. Oz 200 is her favorite. She might have a bit of trouble trading the Aussie 200 tonight, considering the market has already closed. So she's likely going to have to look at a few other areas tonight. Day trading for her standards, she's going to be going with the trends. And our final man of the hour is going to be Jonathan DeWett. He comes from Melbourne, Australia. He's one of the homeboys here, trying to trade his way for the pride and glory. Euro dollar, Aussie dollar, Bitcoin dollar. We're seeing quite a few things. He's dealing with the macro side of things as well. So he's looking at order flows coming in and out of each position as part of his main strategy. Now, that's really all the guys we're going to be seeing. We're going to keep an eye on some of their charts. Now, we've already got someone trading on the charts already. XAU USD is what he was looking at. So we're going to have a look at Shan Tao Yu and see how he's going with his positions so far. Now, really looking at it, he's already sort of up about $130. Hopefully, we can get that chart up for us in the next few minutes, and we'll be able to have a quick look at what's going on the screen.
Looks like on the next round, people are also trading gold. Looks like gold is also popular within this
Gold
session.
is going to be the popular one. Now, here's his chart now. We've got his charts up for us to have a bit of a look at here. He's got 3 positions already on. He's trading the euro dollar, the pound dollar, and the Dow Jones. Now, interestingly, from what we can see, he's using a couple of moving averages. He's got some support and resistance lines. We can see where his positions are. Oh, he's switching screens. We're now on oil. This guy is going to be trading a few things to try and get his money up by the looks of things. He's already trying to take positions everywhere he can find something to look at. I've heard a couple of times you've been talking about around the office here at ACY about doing white label sort of agreements. Can you tell me a little bit about what happens in a white label partnership?
Sure. So basically, white label is probably the most important offer that we have for partners. Usually when companies or brokers offer white labels, they kind of have an MT4 and an MT5 server that they could give to brokers that want to start up to help them start up. But that's not the only thing that we do at ACY. We offer a whole suite of technologies that would help brokers to set up their companies. So that goes from client portal to MT4 and MT5 products and to CRM products. So everything that you need as a broker from products and services will be provided by ACY. Oh. And we've seen a great demand in the past couple of years, and I think that demand will increase in 2021.
Where can I sign up?
Whatever you want, just come to my desk.
Well, now looking at what we're seeing in some of the numbers that are going on right now, we're going to take a look at Shan Tao Yu. He is still leading at the moment. He's up another $50. He is still trading on the euro dollar as well. So at this stage, he's in the lead for now, but trading at this sort of capacity is very fickle. It can go one way or the other very quickly. You are trying to use some pretty big positions. He's now got a total of 4 positions on, 1 lot on the pound dollar, 1 lot on the Dow Jones. We've also got the US WTI being at oil being at a 0.5 position. We've got euro dollar also at 0.5 as well. So they're going to be some pretty good positions to look tonight. I always like looking at the oil situation. We are seeing oil go up a fair bit at the moment. Oil has been doing quite well, if it has it not.
Yes,
you're from the Middle East, you know a little bit about oil, don't you?
I know a little bit about oil. I like oil, of course. And as I can see that this trader is trading on Dow Jones, we know that today is an NFP. It's a very high volatile day in the markets. But what happened yesterday? Yesterday there was a lot of volatility, a lot of movement. So can you tell us about the movement?
I mean, really, the Bank of England move has been the big one that sort of happened. The overnight session for the US, we've seen a fair bit of action really coming from this sort of idea that the US services industry is starting to pick up. The unemployment data from the overnight session for the US was a little bit stronger. And it's a couple of weeks in a row now that we're seeing a little bit of an uptick on that front. That's a nice sign to see for the US economy in general. We've also seen, because of that we've seen, US stocks starting to rise. We've got stocks really flirting with all-time highs yet again. So they're going to be sitting up there for a bit of time. We've got the promise of more stimulus coming. The new president, Joe Biden, is trying to get this $1.9 trillion stimulus package through, and they seem to be pushing quite hard to get it through. Democrats are sitting in a bit of a side saddle with it, and they're trying to basically get the bill through without having to get a vote from the Republican side of things.
Do you think that stimulus will go through?
Look, I think that's going to be. I think the stimulus package will go through. They're trying to negotiate it now. They're talking about probably about $1,400 per person at this stage, which
That's
is
big money.
Well, it's per person. It's not a lot of money at the individual level,
Yeah.
but certainly when you put it in a big sum together, it is.
Okay, now 1 minute left in the day, in this round at least, of Trading Cup 2020. It seems as if there has been a little bit of movement in terms of the leaders and the laggards. You'd be feeling pretty confident with 1 minute left if you were topping the leaderboard?
I think you could be. I mean, we've got, what, how many?
Yeah,
not even
58
a minute,
seconds.
58 seconds to go. So at 58 seconds to go, all three of these guys would be feeling a bit nervous. First place would be holding on for dear life, hoping, not wanting to make a mistake, hoping that position doesn't turn around, because all these guys are going to still have open trades going right up to the last minute. So once we wait for get to the end, that end of it, another 30 odd seconds to go really, they're really going to be trying to hold on for as long as possible and maintain their positioning. So interestingly enough, because we have seen them all trading very similar, we've just had another change around. So this is going to happen until right up until the last second.
Okay, 20, 22 seconds left to go. If you are now waiting for your round to start in less than 15 minutes time, what are you doing?
I would be going through every chart that's available to me, trying to pick the ones that are being the most volatile at the moment, or the ones that are having the most movement at the very least. I'd then be trying to think about what other macro elements might be happening, what news events might be occurring in between.
There we go.
And
Down.
round
It's
is
done.
over.
Round two is done.
Well
Wow.
done.
Trading Cup 2020 is continuing. Alistair, Allah, thanks. That
Thank
was
you so
wonderful
much.
commentary through that round.
Throughout my life, whether it's football or trading, whatever I've done it with passion, focus and dedication. So when it comes to trading the markets, I expect my broker to help me become the trader I aspire to be. ACY Securities have a strong track record in putting the client first in everything they do. And that's important to me as a trader. My football career has taken me around the world to play on the greatest of stages. So when it comes to my trading, I want to be on the best platform possible. Be it an ASIC regulated multi-award winning broker dedicated to empowering traders through cutting edge technology and premium education for the last 8 years, ACY Securities is my choice for trading the financial markets.
Welcome back to Trading 2020. We are coming to you live from Sydney, Australia, ACY Tower. We have traders all over the world watching this live stream. You can feel the excitement really starting to build as we move closer to the grand final of Trading 2020. It has been action-packed. We've got our new set of commentators here with me now. Charles Muti, welcome. Institutional Business Manager here at ACY Securities. We also have Lenny Volpicella, apologies, and you're a senior client manager, account manager. So it's wonderful to have you guys joining us now. We are on the cusp of round three, so we're getting closer to knowing who will be proceeding into the grand final. But we really importantly have to wrap up what has just happened in round two. Charles, what's going on? I mean, you guys, in terms of your expertise, you've both spent, quite some years in financial markets, commodities, currencies. It should make for some lively commentary. But when you look at the results from round two, what do you think?
Well, we've seen some good trades being taken. Really disappointed that no one took the commodities trades as much as the previous round. However, we did see Cheng Tan Lu take over, win the previous round with a winning rate of about 4.49%, which was impressive for a very short trading period. That said, he traded mostly on the pound dollar. We've seen the pound dollar to be a good mover during this trading session, being it's a London trading session. Moving on to the second guy who qualified, Jin Bu Chai. He also finished off with a 3.15% return, which was impressive as well. Lastly, we had Jonathan DeWitt. Jonathan DeWitt finished off at 2.82%, which is impressive for 1 hour trading.
Lenny, it's still too early to know who is going to make it into the grand final because it will be the top performers by percentage, right? So there really could be anything happening in this round.
Yeah, of course. And I think, I was listening to Alistair, and one thing he did point out was that the volatility can subdue in the lead up to the NFP. So I think this could potentially be one of the trickiest rounds to trade before we do undoubtedly move into that final round. And one thing that really surprised me was ASX was 40% top traded pair through a European session, which was pretty interesting to watch.
So do you think we could see some repetition of those strategies, or do you think that we need to come into every round thinking that it will be completely different potentially than the previous one?
I think we may see it be potentially different. My bets would be on shorter time frame charts, maybe minute to 5 minute charts throughout this round, trying to scalp out and make a small percentage gains, take profits as quick as possible, build up that equity, build up your trading curve, and I think that's what it's going to take to come across.
What would your strategy be in this instance? I mean, go in hard early, because that's the thing, isn't it? Is that the clock is ticking.
For sure. Time is against you at this point in time. So you need to have your strategies right at the beginning. And any small mistakes at the beginning puts you at the back foot. So you need to get off with, proper footing.
Yeah.
To be honest, yeah.
And do you change strategy if things start going wrong early on, or do you stick to your knitting and what you know?
You go first.
I don't know. That's a tricky one to put forth. I think everyone throughout this next hour may have to adopt somewhat of a different strategy moving forward. Whether it's alterations in terms of risk management and position sizing to try and gain that most possible percentage within that short time frame, I think that there will be some differentiation in strategy throughout the next period.
Listen, round 3 is underway. Charles, Lenny, why don't we get you to do what you do best, and that's run us through it. We'll have the dashboard that some of our viewers at home can also follow along, and you guys have a whole range of charts at your disposal. Looking forward to this commentary to come up through round 3.
Yeah, so first of all, we can start with the first contestant. We've got Ming Queen Gao. So Ming Queen Gao is he's a gold trader, which is really good. Pound and the Mexican peso. Day trading is his thing, and with heavy positions as well. He's an aggressive trader. So that's going to be interesting for this session, because you need to take that front foot to be able to kind of like match the pace of trading. So that's going to be interesting. Now moving on to the next one.
All right, so gold and Bitcoin, swing and reversal trading, and on the 1 hour time frame. So he's probably going to be looking to sell any rallies or buy any shorts. And more or less, do you think he may have to adopt his strategy going into this on the 1 hourly time frame?
Yeah, that's a tricky time frame to be adopting at this point. So it's going to be a tricky one, to be honest.
Might need to mix that up a little.
Yeah. Now moving on to the next one, we've got Yuan Sui. Now Yuan Sui is trading from Taipei. He's a gold trader as well, oil and forex, which is a good mix, to be honest. We've got he's an indicators trader, including he trades mainly Fibonacci's and average true range, which is an interesting one. He's a tech guy, just like you and Lenny.
Perfect. Maybe some divergence trading coming up from that.
Yeah. That's going to be interesting. Now moving on to the next one.
So we have Bin Lu from Shanghai, China. Indice trader, interesting. Dow 30, Nasdaq 100, Hong Kong 50. Aggressive, I think that's what it's going to take. And average true range. So more or less they may feed into risk management, or more or less trying to get an understanding how much those particular time frames are moving.
For sure. Now the next contestant is Hao Dong Ni. He's also trading from China, Jiangmen in China. He's a gold and oil trader. Moving average is his thing, and average true range, which is very popular in this round. So it's going to be interesting to see all these people who are trading the same style. He usually goes with trend, so he's a trend trader with heavy positions. So that's an interesting one.
So Zhen Guo Zhang, again from China, looks like another indice trader with some dollar yen. goes against trends. Interesting, right? So he's going to be looking to potentially sell rallies or buy into those dips, and he is a day trader. So it'll be interesting to see what sort of time frames he's going to be pulling up and what sort of day trading methods will reflect in a 1 hour period.
For sure, for sure. And we also have Zheng Shuai Li. He's trading from Henan, China. Gold trader, very popular instrument, euro as well. His strategy is Roger Martin, new strategy, which is interesting. He's an aggressive trader. So we've got a few aggressive traders in the team.
It's going to be an aggressive group.
Exactly, it's going to be an aggressive group.
Okay, so Hai Dong Li from Henan, China. Gold and S&P 500, medium and long investment, conservative, low risk. Yeah, I think moving into this hour time frame, they may be heading towards some riskier positions coming up if he's going to be going up against some aggressive traders here.
Exactly. And we've got our resident trader on site, Mr. Riyad Debabi. He's trading from Sydney, Australia. He's currently trading from the ACY Tower. His main thing is euro dollar. Well, basically he's going to look at FX in general. Scalping and retracement is his thing, so it's going to be interesting to watch that strategy pan out. His time frames are 1 hour, 4 hours, and 15 minutes. Now, we've seen the Aussie dollar kind of like hang around the 78 to 75 position for possibly the first month of the year. Now, where do you think the Aussie dollar could be heading? And how can traders kind of like prepare for that move? And how is that move gonna take place post NFP?
Look, unfortunately, I don't have a crystal ball to be able to tell us where it's going to move to next. But I mean, one thing we can look at for a long period of time there, the Aussie dollar was one of the best performing currencies against the US dollar, acting as a proxy to stocks, following a very similar flow. It was more or less driven by that positive flow in stocks, causing US dollar to continue to pull back, hence the outperformance in the likes of iron ore continuing to rise, other COVID-related elements as well as economic data has seen the Aussie dollar push to these previous highs. All right. In regards to where we go from here, it's tricky to say. There's so many factors that we're looking at: vaccine hopes, stimulus. Where is that going to send the US dollar moving to next? And in regards to stocks, they continue to push on and make these record high after record highs. Is a correction going to take place? Are these risk currencies going to pull back against the US dollar? We'll have to wait and see.
For sure. So it's going to be an interesting one to watch out for. Aussie dollar, it's doing quite well. Do you think it's also based on Australia being one of the few countries that have reacted better when it comes to COVID-19, and where we are sitting at the moment with regards to infections, as well as recovery rate, and basically just the control?
Well, potentially so. It's hard to shy away from that. I mean, if we look at our sister currency being the Kiwi, the New Zealand dollar, again, that has been one of the best performing currencies against the US dollar. So in regards to that, we can see how New Zealand has handled this global pandemic. In relation to shutdown measures, we had their employment data roll through earlier in the week, which came out better than expected. So throughout, New Zealand labour market seems to be doing pretty well in this current environment, and undoubtedly that's led to strength in the Kiwi.
For sure. So it's going to be interesting to see how this is going to pan out. Now, I'm being told like that second place, Zheng Shuai Li, they're sitting at a profit of $260, slowly catching up, as you can see the ranking. Now, I believe this is their account. Looks as if they've piled on to gold. Now, just like you were talking about, the confluences and, a turnaround on major corrective levels, would you, especially if you're second place, would you be going in with a micro lot at this point?
Well, I mean, from what we can gather, if we look at the timestamps on his MT4, we can see scaled in with micro lots. And as we're starting to edge towards the end of the session, we can see a significant increase in the position size. He's
For
jumped
sure.
up to 0.111.
Yep, yep.
So
yeah.
yeah, undoubtedly, it looks like he's chasing here.
There you go. There you go. So it seems as if, he's, well, they've put the aggressive foot forward, and they're slowly piling on to positions, especially if they're looking as if they're going to be winning positions. Now, apart from the instruments that we've talked about, it seems as if gold, well, looking at everything that is being traded on tonight, it seems as gold is still a popular pair, but the returns are not there. Now, I know at the beginning of this session we did talk about changing strategy. Now, do you think it would be a good time to possibly bail on gold, or would you stick on it and see it through and see where it takes you by the end of the segment?
Well, I mean, for one, it's dependent on the trader themselves. How familiar are they with other pairs? How many pairs do they have in their arsenal? I mean, if they're most comfortable on trading gold and understanding how it reacts, the price structure, the price action, would you take the risk in terms of, diverging into another asset class? It's a little bit tricky to say. But in regards to that, I do believe the majority of these traders would have a few pairs in terms of their sticking point.
Yep.
And you can see at the moment, interestingly enough, what just popped up on the board, Bitcoin's percentage started to rise throughout this session. Ethereum's dropped, and I did see the Dow Jones creeping up there as well. And again, the one we were just reiterating, the Aussie dollar's straight up there as well.
Yep. And Dow Jones is 61%. So seems as if the indices are, coming to the party as well. Now, that possibly could be in preparation for the NFP. As we can see, we're just an hour away from the NFP. Now, looking at the indices, looking at the NASDAQ specifically. Now, it seems as if that could be an interesting one come NFP. And it seems as if clients are also looking at the Dow as well. But let's look at the NASDAQ for now. What do you think is happening there? It seems as if it's a consolidation of some sort.
NASDAQ price action looks to be consolidating. A little bit more action seems to be taking place on the Dow. If we drop down to the lower time frames, let's drop down to a 5-minute chart. You can see ultimately we ended up making the session highs around 31,211, and a little bit of a pullback started to emerge. So potentially traders, are they easing off in anticipation for an NFP? Potentially so. What we've been reiterating throughout this round. So more than likely, my take on it is yes, it's starting to pull back, awaiting those figures.
Lenny, Charles, there is only 6 minutes left of this round 3. Why don't you come on out? We are counting down to the final round of Trading Cup 2020. Some great commentary there. You couldn't help notice, though, that once this leader emerged, it didn't change, did it?
No, it didn't, and that's the main thing. Well, I'm presuming that no one can see who's leading among the contestants, but once you get onto a front foot, you just want to maintain to that profit. You want to keep that profit. So what would have set in at the beginning when he closed at $890 profit? He would have started implementing his risk
management,
exactly.
Right? Okay.
So, and that's the main thing. That's what you need to watch out for this segment, because you've got a limited time to be able to turn up profit. So, if you start playing a risky game while you've already closed out profitable trades, you could lose it all.
Okay, and then there has been a lot of neck and neck trading going on between these contestants, and yet presumably they do not know what the other contestants are doing. So, and that's part of trading as well, is just keeping your singular focus on what you're doing, not to get distracted by the fact that you're in a competition. You're going for not just a trophy, but quite a lot of financial reward as well.
Yeah, definitely so. And I mean, more or less, like we said, throughout round 3, the volatility was likely to be a little subdued. So in terms of how this panned out, doesn't necessarily surprise me so much in regards to it being so close in the back end of our traders here. But can I just say one thing? If we take a look at that trader's curve, you can see from the get-go, he took off. I mean, that trader's curve, bang, straight up, started to ease off throughout the end, like he just reiterated. And yeah, I mean, he just come in, gun swinging, and hopefully it pays off.
Well, you have been referencing Bitcoin. It's the first time that it's come up. Bitcoin, Ethereum, the digital currencies, talking about that lack of major volatility out there. Maybe that's a way to gain some ground. But with pretty close to just 4 minutes left, I mean, you'd have to be making some pretty big moves. I mean, I'm not the trader. What would the psychology be as the clock continues to count down?
Well, for me, I would be looking at what position I'm at and trying to either go a little bit aggressive, and if I'm at a leading position, I'll be trying to kind of like implement some risk management procedures to be able to keep my leadership position. So I'd be looking at the first leader to be able to kind of like maintain that trader's curve, but the number 2 and number 3, there's a little bit of a gap, but after that, then anyone could qualify to number 3 because they're very close to each other. So it just depends on what risk measures that you're going to implement at this point in time, but with less time.
3 minutes, less than 3 minutes.
Yeah, I'm not sure if you're going to be able to be aggressive, but we've just seen a little bit of a switch on the few positions at the end there. So yeah.
And it's worthwhile for our viewers to keep in mind as well that those that progress to the grand final, it's done by percentage change. So it really is still anyone's game, because we have had big fluctuations between the types of returns that the traders in round 1 got as compared to round 2, and with round 3 not yet determined. It is still an open field.
Yeah, definitely so. I mean, again, it'll come down to your risk-reward measures. It'll come down to how you're scaling in, where you're taking profits. And if the rest of the group's making losses and you're just making those incremental gains, that might be enough for you to progress through. So yeah, undoubtedly, that's what we were seeing in the previous rounds. And for myself, I'd be going hard or going home throughout these next couple of minutes to try and scale in. Going in with some aggression and trying to solidify my place. But looks like it's going to be hard to catch out there in front.
Your heart would be beating. You would also be very focused, no doubt, and the mind turning to what could potentially come next. Of course, we're waiting, as we've been talking about all night, for that non-farm payroll report to come in the United States. If you get into the grand final, of course, you've got to refocus. You've still got an hour of trade to go. And it's how difficult is it? Put it in perspective, to be making these trades with knowing that the clock is ticking away. We've got just over a minute left in round 3.
I believe it would be quite nerve-wracking. You've got a global audience, you've got 2 commentators going through your positions and your trading style. I, for one, I think I'd be pretty uncomfortable in that seat.
Okay, so we've got currency, technical, short-term trader. We've got your fundamentals and commodities. You didn't disagree with each other very much, though, on this panel.
Now, I think a good use of a mix of both is very important, to be honest. If you're just utilizing one strategy, then it could turn around and go against you, especially looking at the NFP, because NFP is basically, I would say, 60% fundamental based. So if you're looking at just one side, you're likely to kind of like get started on a poor footing.
Yeah. So diversity, being nimble, key things for any trader at any time, competition or not.
Yeah, definitely so. I mean, it's always good to have an understanding as to why the market moves, when it's going to be moving throughout separate parts of the day, and being able to read into the chart as well in regards to the technicals and the price action, because ultimately you need to get your entries right.
We have hit the 0 mark. Round 3 of Trading Cup 2020 has come to an end. That means that we are one step closer to getting into the final round. Here at ACY Tower, we will revisit some of the themes when we wrap up round 3 in just a few minutes' time. Welcome back. This is Trading Cup 2020. We are coming to you live from ACY Tower here in beautiful Sydney, Australia. Wherever you're watching us right around the world, we're glad you're here. We've just come through round 3. We have 2 of our previous commentators here with me again. I won't bother telling you all the great things about them, but we do have Ashley Jessen and we have Alistair Schultz joining us from acysecurities. Of course, all of Trading Cup 2020 is being powered by acysecurities. So before we get into the details of the final round, which is now underway, we need to, Alistair, know what happened in the previous round. Just take us through it. What were the highs? What were the lows?
I think the highest point we've got so far is, and the interesting point to look at is the difference between the 3 different rounds we've had so far. First round, 20% was the leader. Second round, 4.49%. And the last round that's just gone through, we've had 19.32%. So it is a big difference, and it shows that just the idea of very small trades can mean that you end up in the finals anyway.
And so in the previous round, just so we're set, what was most traded? What was the winning trade?
The biggest ones that we actually saw coming down was gold again. So we've had much of a reflection on what we saw in the first round. And it's occurred again in the third and fourth. Hopefully we'll see more on gold in this one.
Well, Ash, you've got the golden ticket, don't you?
Yes, yeah, we do actually have the final 4 place getters. It's a little bit sort of redundant because they're already in the final, which is great. They've loaded up their account and they're ready to go. But as Alistair said, round 1, we saw the greatest gain for tonight, 24.14%, and second place on that round 1 was 15.48. Going with the 2 that Alistair had, we've got 19.32 and 11.15. So they round out our top 10.
Okay, so the top 10 is locked and loaded.
It is.
Trade is underway. We've talked so much tonight about the non-farm payroll report, the volatility that we could see around the event.
Yes.
Is that what you're bracing for?
Yeah, this is the big one. This is the print that we're all looking for. We will be talking a little bit about some of the jobless claims that were leading up to this. There was a bit of volatility off the back of that, but this is the big print. So we're very excited to see what happens. In fact, right now, we'll probably jump over to the screens in a second.
I'd love it. Take us through all the charts. There's going to be a lot of action. Do you think, though, just as a parting thought, that we'll start to see through this hour the action accelerating, Alistair?
I think that we likely will once we hit that NFP release. So we're waiting for the 12:30 mark for its release in Australian Eastern Standard Time, of course. But we are going to be seeing, hopefully, some better data. We've had 3 good runs at the very minimum when it comes to unemployment data each week for the past 3 weeks. Now, the thing that's going to come out, and the thing that I think that most of our listeners and watchers should keep in mind, is that it's not just the final number. It's also dependent on full-time, part-time, and the sectors that are involved in the NFP.
Okay, so we are counting down not just to the NFP, but of course to the end of this Trading Cup 2020. There's a trophy.
There's a trophy.
There's some money.
And there's some
pride
There's
as
some
well.
huge checks. We're very excited to bring this to a conclusion and basically crown the grand champion.
All right,
This
well,
is
you'll
what we're
have to
looking
wait for that. Take us through the charts, guys. The final round is in your hands.
Nice one. Thanks, Nadine. Let's go over and see what the price action is telling us, Mr. Schultz.
I feel like a respected member of the public when someone says Mr. Schultz.
Mr. Schultz. Well,
Can you call me sir next time, please?
Sir, Mr. Schultz. Sir Schultz. How's that?
Okay,
Alright.
so let's have a look at what we got up on the screens right now. At current, our leaderboard is showing up. We've got Zhen Wang in the front, Don Yang in second place, James Hu hasn't taken a trade yet, and neither is Yi Yun Zheng. They're both waiting on their next trade to come through. So hopefully we do see them taking something. They might be waiting for the 12:30 mark. They might be waiting for NFP. What are your thoughts, Ash?
Yeah, I'll be a little surprised if they haven't already. We might see, I think one of them's up a little bit because gold's just taken a fly to the downside and it's broken the 1800 level. On the 1 minute chart here, and you can see that it's broken down. So I think that's just following the 12 p.m. start, 12 a.m. It's a crazy time. It's late here, but we're powering through. So yeah, we've had a break to the downside. Hopefully someone got short, so that could be a good little opportunity there to the downside. Let's have a look at dollar index. What do we got? 1 minute chart on the dollar index.
It might not be a bad idea for us to have a look at Dong Yuan Zhang's positions at his moment. Let's have a look at his charts real quick and see what way he's thinking about going. Because if it is, he might be short, he might be long, but at the moment, our top 3 placements are continuously switching back and forth. Pardon my that, I got tongue-tied on that one. But we are seeing them move back and forth very, very quickly. We know they are looking at gold from what it looks like right this very second, but they have the dollar chef, the dollar yen, the euro dollar and gold all on the screen at the moment. So they're going to be picking between those 4, and it's not a bad play to make. The dollar chef, not a bad position to make. I was expecting to see dollar CAD as well because we also have the Canadian unemployment figures coming out tonight as well.
Dollar index is breaking higher right this minute. Just broken out of a short-term resistance play at the top there. Let me pop over to gold. I think there's going to be some action on gold. Yeah. Dollar's rising, gold's pulling back. So we're going to have to see some trades going in. We can see someone's locked in $17. But to win the final today, as we've seen before, grand final, 29% won 2018. In an hour of trading, 9.3% last year.
I think this is the point when it comes to this style of competition. 1% can win it. I mean, if we looked at the second round,
you're right.
4.49% was the best at that point in time.
Yep.
So if we have a non-farm payroll event that is a little bit quiet, perhaps it's not as what investors desired to see, or even a little bit even disappointing, then perhaps that might mean that we get a little bit of a flat market at that time. But we know that from the past background, the unemployment data over the last couple of weeks has been ticking up for the US economy. So theoretically, this time round we should see some good numbers. It will probably come down to what the breakdown is on those numbers a little later on tonight.
Yeah, absolutely. Look, I'm a bit disappointed with the indices. They are on the cusp of a breakout. Not even like a little sniff of a breakout. It's hardly anything. What's going on?
But even having said that, I think there is a certain element where you have to consider the idea of realistically, indices in the US are flirting with those all-time highs.
Yes,
they're sitting very, very close to the top. There's been lots of talk of bubbles happening and markets being in some sort of bubble scenario for some time now. Probably since towards the end of last year, we started hearing that sort of action happening. So perhaps investors are thinking that perhaps it's the wrong way to be going in terms of indices, and tonight's traders seem to be showing that as well.
You're right.
The only action we've seen is on the ASX 200. We've also seen, we saw some action during the second round on the ASX 200, which was a little surprising to me.
Out of hours?
Out of hours,
interesting.
exactly right. But nonetheless, sure.
We're here. It's not out of our hours.
It's not out of our hours, but that doesn't matter. We've also seen a little bit of action on the Dow Jones. Now, I think the reason for the Dow Jones being so important tonight is that we have had a tick up, obviously, the last couple of weeks for those unemployment figures. We've seen that we might have the interest of seeing more services sector. So tonight, when it does come to the NFP result, if we do see an increase in the services sector, then naturally the Dow Jones would go up. But in the finals, do we have anyone actually trading on that side?
Yeah.
I'm not sure just yet. Right now, we have Jingo Yi and Mao Long Yang. Well, they've just moved, as I was trying to say it, but Mao Long Yang is now in first position. We might have a look at his charts as he's going along. Bottom left there for my friends in the studio helping us out with this. He has a lot of trades right now going on. Now, from what we can see on the screen that we've got going on, there'd easily be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, at least sort of 20 trades going on in one moment. It looks like he's loading up with buy limits on the bottom, sell limits on the top. This is indicative of someone who is probably using a strategy that is built using a robot and is likely going to be taking fast, iterative positions as quickly as they can, in and out, sort of chop and change. We can even see from the trade size that they're all 0.50 positions no matter what. So that is giving us a little bit more suggestion that we are seeing some form of expert advisor sort of operating in the background here to help him with his trading tonight.
So Mei Long Yang is a very interesting one. He's the one who got the record gain, 3,400%. Now, he's very good at pyramiding into trades. So this is one experienced professional trader, won twice in the monthly competitions.
Okay, so considering what we've seen in the monthly competitions already and what we're seeing here now, or what we were seeing here now, do you think there's any difference to his trading strategies going on? I mean, you've obviously seen him in the last 2 months.
Yeah.
And is this?
You just saw how many trades he's placing. So he was the least active trader.
So he's loading up on this one, but in the previous 2 sessions that he's won, he's had 30 days to really put it together.
Yep.
Off your top of your head, do you have any idea how many trades he was taking during the month duration trading?
Absolutely, 6.
6 in total.
6.
So we've gone from having 6 total trades for the current leader on 2 occasions over 30 days to get 2 tickets to the entry of tonight's Trading Cup, versus tonight where he's really loading up his position. So, I mean, that's pretty evident from the strategy that you have to play all the way through, right?
Actually, yeah, absolutely. I got it wrong. It's actually Zhen Wang that was doing the pyramiding trades. Sorry to throw a bit of a curveball there. It's actually Mei Long Yang. He did do a lot of trades. Round 1, 782%. He was doing a lot of trades, actually. 146% in the third round. So, getting back on track, we've got him nailed now. We know who he is. So
Do you
he's
think
used to this.
Do you think he's still using the same strategy that he was using last time?
I think he might be pulling it down just a touch in terms of that frequency. So he might just adapt it to that shorter time frame.
Well, he's still currently in the lead. Zhen Wang is in second.
Yeah, that's our gentleman. That's the
our
record
gold
holder.
trader?
That is indeed Zhen Wang,
So
3,400%.
And Zheng Wang was trading gold primarily.
Absolutely.
He managed to turn $2,000 into more than 100,000 Australian dollars. Is that correct?
Yeah, just under 3 to just under 100. So it's an incredible gain. It's hard to even say it.
It's an exciting thing to see when traders are pulling all of this together in 30 days. I think
Yes.
from memory, even by the time he was at nearly $90,000, he only had maybe 4 trades in the entire month. Of course, this was at the beginning of really our trading cup competition in sort of July, and we were seeing lots of extreme action on gold. There was a fly up going on that had been going on since the beginning of the pandemic.
Yeah. I think we need to keep a close eye on gold because it's breaking lower. You can see the trend is down. Although it's only a 1 minute trend, it is pointing down. So I think those who might be looking to take that short side could be on the right side come the end of the session.
We now have Mao Long Yang back in front.
Right.
We've moved from
Interesting.
Yi Yun Zheng into second and Haibo Wang in third.
Right.
So it is moving around very, very quickly tonight. Especially in the finals, I'm sure they're all very hungry for those pips, and they're going to continue to try and drive as much money out of tonight's competition as possible. So we might see some spectacular moves coming in the next couple of minutes coming in soon. Especially considering we're now currently about 17 minutes away from the NFP event. So once that cracks open, we'll have an idea. We will also get an idea of what some of those results might actually be on the NFP when it comes time to do.
Yeah. And this is also when the action starts to pick up in terms of volatility, like the fake moves. Maybe about 5 minutes before the drop, so we're about 15 minutes away, as you're saying. So it's going to be coming down a little bit later. But now it's not uncommon to see a lot of volatility, some fake moves. Sometimes liquidity dries up a little bit, so you see those big spreads go out and market moves pretty rapidly in one direction or the other.
Even on this dollar index,
Yes.
does this look like anything to you by any chance?
Well, if you're looking at chart patterns, we can see that there's we've got higher lows. So that's good news. We've got a double top there, which is broken to the upside. Now we're seeing a run higher. This is going to be interesting. Now, when we see US dollar, what are we going to see? Gold's going to be going the other way. In fact, it's not. That's interesting. So US dollar is rising on the 1 minute. We go to gold, and gold is actually popping up relative to the US dollar. So that's a little bit interesting. I'm actually thinking Mei Long Yang is short gold, and he's riding this down. So he could be riding some open, just settling in his positions there. That's his equity curve on the top there. So he's sitting tight, waiting for this. I think he's waiting for it to drop further. I didn't see. Did you see if he was short?
No, but we should definitely take a look.
Let's try and see if we can bring up Mei Long Yang's position on MT4. Let's see how he's positioned. I'm thinking he's short.
It's hard to tell with so many trade options going on here.
So
He's
we've got buy limits.
we've got,
So
if
he's
you
got
actually have a
long,
look, we've
half. He's got 5 minis on a buy, 5 on a sell.
We
Right,
have
a
buy.
different. So he's sort of hedging.
I mean,
he's
even
hedged
looking
in a position.
Even looking at our chart here, we've got sells on the top, buys on the bottom, with one sell at the very top here. So he seems to have some sort of indication that at this point where price action is moving now, it is worth a short move down. These long positions are not actually active just yet. They are just limit orders. So this could put him in a bit of a problem. It seems like he's looking for the idea that, he's changed his chart, but
he doesn't want to reveal his strategies.
It seems like
That's
if we
not
can
a bad
can
idea.
we pull up gold on this chart here for? Oh, we've got it up here.
We got it on the 1 minute.
Yep, put it on a 5 for us, please.
Something a bit more comfortable.
A little bit more comfortable. It seems like when we look at what we're seeing from Mao Long Yang, he's looking at this range here as being a support line. At least this is what I can see from his numbers that he's got going on. He's looking at this area as a bit of support, and that he's got the top side up here for us to move into. Current price action where we've got sitting over here. Do you want to maybe just tick off this one? Oh, I can do it. Oh, no, I can't do it.
No, we can't.
We can't touch screen. Lovely. Well, either way, he's looking at the idea of this round range down the bottom here as being his support line. We could see he had a whole stack of buy limit orders sitting in this area, sell limit orders on the top side over here. So perhaps his ideal position or his planning for tonight is for price to come down to the support line that we're seeing from this side and then move back up this way. Now, if that does play out, this is going to be an event when it comes to NFP. If it does happen that way and we do get those positive numbers like we are expecting, then his chances of the US dollar increasing in value might actually put his gold position at risk. But we'll have to see in about, what, nearly a bit over 10 minutes to go now.
That's it. Gold's broken down. Hey Dong Ni, what's the chance? What's the chance he's short gold or long US dollar? What do you reckon?
He has just plunged his way back to the leaderboard from what we can see on our chart right now. Oh, there we're moving again.
He would be
now
because
Long Yang back in front.
Yep, gold's just popped back up $1 or so, $2. So he's probably short. He's still riding it, and it's popped back up. That's how quick it can move.
I mean,
I think he's going to hold tight though. I think he should be short.
Considering the market action that we actually are seeing tonight, how many do you think are actually using an economic calendar?
Well, look, it is very short term, right? So
an hour of power.
However, as far as using an economic calendar, you just know that the NFP is coming up, right? So at least you've got that. You know, okay, I've done my homework. NFP is coming up. I'm sort of in the awareness of what's going on. But the print, they might have some data feeds coming in where they can see what the print is. Because, we need to know what it is as well.
I think the most interesting thing tonight is that majority of our traders have been technical traders. But when we actually took in the second round, we had one trader who was a macro guy.
Right.
And he was sitting there, we were watching his charts, he'd bring up what he was looking at. Most of it was coming from, I believe, the Alpha Gains website with all the news that comes through there in the immediate moment. So you're getting up-to-date data very, very quickly. And so I think he's probably the only fundamental analyst that we've seen tonight.
Yes.
And in his round, he came third, Jonathan DeWitt.
Gotcha.
But here we are now, final rounds, looking at all their charts. It does certainly seem that most people are technical analysts.
Definitely.
We are seeing a lot of what looks to be robotic action coming from expert advisors with multiple trades coming in. And we often ask, if you think of the first round, we're seeing guys put on some pretty big lots, 17 lots in total in the first round for one player.
True, yeah, he did.
So that's a lot of lots for a very small position,
You're right.
or at least trading account. Usually you would anticipate, what, one lot per 10,000, you would say?
Yeah, you've got to steady the ship.
So 17 lots for $5,000 starting is pretty up there,
You want to know what you're doing in terms of that risk control. When you're allocating risk, you don't want to get it out of hand. But clearly, it worked. So in watching that person, they were actually getting into that trade as it moved in their favor, taking another trade, one lot. And then they locked them in. And then as it started to pull back, it was overbought. They started to short sell, two lots, half lot. So that was interesting to see. That's a lot of lots.
That's
17. Did I get all of them in?
Now
look at gold. Mei Long Yang is going to be. He's got limit orders in, so he might be running a tad offside initially.
I mean, his orders were for buy positions on this bottom side.
Yeah.
So
that's what I mean. So he might be running a bit offside to start with.
He'll be starting to run into those positions now as it plummets.
I don't think you're going to beat Hey Dong Ni because he's the one. He's short. And he was holding steady.
Hey Dong Ni is really up there in the lead right now. So it is looking from our perspective for that he has basically smashed the competition. But things in the Trading Cup change very, very rapidly. But for now, it is looking like he's in the lead. He's got three positions. One lot on the gold position. He's got two lots in total on gold. And a fourth lot really coming in. So he's got 4 lots in total for XAU USD or gold versus the US dollar.
This is great. He's nearly up $2,700. He's short gold. And it makes sense because that, the highs are getting lower, the lows are getting, the support line keeps getting broken. It's going down, down, down. We've seen a lot of downside pressure. Last night it was down, down $54 or something.
Looking at the strategy that he's got on the chart, at least from his indicators that he's using, we can see stochastics, we can see an RSI, we can also see at least 3 moving averages, which are starting to cross over. So where his positions have actually looks like they have kicked in, has been on the crossover mark of whatever time frame sort of moving averages he's actually using. He's flipping back and forth between his hourly, his 4 hourly, his 15 and his 5 minutes. So he is being quite proactive with checking which direction the trends are coming in at the moment. But so far we are seeing him in the lead, and it looks like he has got it by a very long margin to stay that way. Now coming in, we've got another 9 minutes.
2,000. That's incredible.
Very, very close to 1,856, but I'll take it.
Can you bring up Yuan Su's? Because he's an interesting trader. So this is a gentleman in his video earlier today we saw when he first started, and this is in the trading comp. He was asked to enter the trading comp. He didn't even know how to place a buy and sell, and I know that might sound funny, but Joyce, his coach and mentor, she goes through all of this and gave him the confidence to follow the strategies that he's been taught and to give it a go. Now, he actually qualified twice. Yuan Su in round 2, July, 664%, as he's just working his strategies. He's now coming second, but I would like to see his positions because he does trade a lot of different positions. He looks like he's taking some pretty meaty contracts there. One on gold, he's long 2 gold, and he's short dollar yen.
He's currently down about $300.
So he's long, he's short US dollar basically. So Yuan Su, he did very well there. Round 4, he also qualified 4th with 103%. So he's a repeat performer. This guy is
and
on the money.
Keeping a very close eye on the time. We are less than 2 minutes away from our non-farm payroll event. So
We're
we
close.
will try and bring those stats up for us and get the absolute numbers right as it comes live, whilst also keeping an eye on all of our wonderful traders here tonight in the Trading Cup 2020 competition. So what have we got so far? Looking at these numbers that we've got here on the screen behind us, we're going to be getting some up, waiting for that full-time employment change figures. Here we go. Non-farm payrolls. Current forecast, 50,000. The previous was negative 140,000.
True.
So we're going to be waiting to see what that actual result is in the very near future. We're now 1 minute away from getting that number. In fact, it is closer to about 30 seconds.
Guys,
Nadine's
I'm
talked
gonna
about
interrupt
that
you
for a
right
bit,
here
actually.
This is sort of my wheelhouse. I'm Nadine Blaney, ozbiz.com.au. News is my thing. We do have the U.S. non-farm payroll report out. This is for the month of January, so this is after we know that Joe Biden has become president of the United States. We had expected 50,000 jobs to be added. We have seen 49,000 jobs added.
My goodness.
So a big improvement on the month of December when we saw, to your point, negative 227,000 jobs. But that is a miss. It's a pretty close miss, all things considered. However,
it's
it is
very,
what it is.
very close. Very, very close. I mean, it's only 1,000 jobs off from the forecast,
Yeah.
but what is the breakdown? Are you able to
So
see that?
actual participation rate is at 61.4. So that's down from the previous month. So the participation rate are those people who are out there willing to look for a job. Hourly earnings coming in at 0.2%, lower than expected. Year on year and month on month coming in lower than expected. Now keep in mind.
So we've got more people working, but for less money.
So the unemployment rate coming down in January to 6.3%. So that is the breaking news coming from the U.S. report. Now it'll be interesting to see how these traders go as well, because we've also got the Canadian jobs data
You're not gonna
out
believe
as
it.
well.
At the same time.
So the Canadian unemployment rate is coming in at 9.4%. The forecast was for 8.9%. So that is a big, miss on expectations. I mean, especially if you're a Canadian looking for a job. So there you go. That's the data. Listen, why don't we just keep in mind that Trading Cup 2020 is powered by ACY Securities. You will be doing all of your crunching of the numbers, the charts. We'll see how the traders go. Trading Cup 2020 powered by ACY Securities.
Do you think with 12 minutes left to go of this competition, are you happy to say Zhen Wang's in the lead?
He's definitely in the lead. Look, it's broken above those levels where he's probably got enough support there to hold him above the others. That's the way it looks at the moment.
We've got this spike up happening now. We did have the immediate rush
Yeah.
down, but it has popped up again.
Yeah.
Do you think he's feeling some pain at this?
I think his competitors.
I think we are, because we took short.
We're
you
short,
you
we're
took
short.
short positions here.
Okay, let's not talk about that. But his competitors will be feeling a bit of pain because he's onside and it's rallying and he's long. What was it? 5
We're
contracts.
perma bull here, right?
2, 2, 1. Yeah, so 5 contracts. He's a perma.
Is Zhen Wang your favourite trader of the competition so far?
Look,
Because if it is,
I've never seen anyone who's able to pyramid in so successfully. It's really, really challenging to do, as you know. Like we can all get on a winning trade, but then to have the ability to add to that winning position, it takes another level. You've got to have that commitment and know that it's going to run out because, as you know, with pyramiding in, sometimes you get weighty on the top side. So when that market turns, what happens? You start losing fast. So you've got to have that confidence to go long and then load up on those contracts. Look, it's working at the moment. It's going really well.
It seems like we do have someone trading NASDAQ.
Yeah.
We have someone trading...
Yuan Su. Yeah.
The
He
NAS
loves
100.
NASDAQ.
Gold is
Jinko
still the
Yi.
most profitable symbol, but the equity curve that we can see on there is enormous. He started from break-even balance. He's dropped a little bit of money to actually get to the top, which is what you would expect.
Yeah.
You got to risk a little bit for the biscuit.
Nice one. Can we have a look at the third place getter, Jinko Yi? And
He's sitting about 393s.
done. That's it.
That's
that
it.
was
He's
the
out 500.
that was the buy limit to close the position. So you can see those red dots there.
Mm.
He actually saw some wicks at the top there, some distributive selling.
Closed out. So he
Decided
is
to,
manually trading. He is scalping his way out of this profit.
Yeah.
That is different. I think that's the first time I've actually seen trades getting closed off in the flesh by a person, not a robot, for tonight.
Yes, that's true. Yeah. Buy limit though, so yeah, you could see he's just going for a couple of pips gain.
Each time,
So-
scalping his way.
Yeah.
And I think that's probably the most appropriate way. Even time frame, he's using a 1 minute chart, indicative of someone who is using a scalping methodology.
That's
So
it.
I would say that this man is generally using his very much price action
Yeah.
trading. There's not much
There's
more
not
you
a
can
lot.
do in this sort of time zone.
Got the moving averages on. What's he on now? He's on Bitcoin. 1 minute Bitcoin
This
chart.
is the first crypto trader of the night.
Yep, we're right in front of us. Bitcoin. Wonder what's going on in Bitcoin.
He's moving back and forth.
W2I, gold.
There's
Done.
only 5 minutes left of
Yeah.
this competition in total. In fact, we're probably a little bit less. 4 minutes and 6 seconds remain.
Great. Let's have a look at Heibo Wang. Now,
So at
this
this
is
point-
interesting. So I'll just bring your attention to the equity curve there.
Yeah, very-
Flatlining, jumped up, consolidation. Then he's offside. I would like to know what he's in.
So his equity
is he?
curve is very indicative.
Short, he's closing, gone.
He's
Done.
in the lead. He's in the lead.
He's
Do
closing
you reckon
out.
he's going to sit for the next 4 minutes,
Has
or
to.
is he going
Has to be.
to try and take another punt at it?
71%. Why
Well,
wouldn't you?
we should bring up
He's-
Heibo
Goodness.
Wang. If we can have a look at the dashboard very, very quickly, we'll
He's
be
done.
able to get a bit of an idea and show the viewers what's going on with his equity curve, because it is quite interesting to me to have a look at. The first thing to take note of is, first of all, how far he actually jumps up on the very start, and the second element is how quickly he moves down. Now, when you look at equity curves like this, generally speaking, if you're an investor, you're looking at long-term potential of things, you want to see a line that just keeps going like this. In this instance, it is down, it is up, it is down, it is up, and this is the side of trading that you do find in an hour-long competition. You have to be using big lot sizes. You're putting a lot at risk when this sort of thing is happening. So this is what the leader has had to do to get there. Would you want to employ something like this over an extensive period of time?
Look, your heart would be going through the ringer there. I mean, there's some big drawdowns, but can I just draw your attention to my goal positions? It's no longer our position. It's now my... I'm just going to lock in another 300, 280, and 330. I'm done, people. I'm out of here. Thanks.
Bye, Ash. Thanks for being on the program.
No, this is incredible. He's locked it in. He knew there was a couple of minutes left. You saw him close those positions. He went into drawdown. He was pulling back quite considerably. So he was down, what are we at, 1,500? So he's down 30%. So this is the type of trading that you can see on a night like this. There's a 30% drawdown. That is a lot when we're seeing, but the upside swing back up to 71, they were big positions, meaty positions. What was he?
I mean, it's
short.
It's one of those things when it comes to a competition of this size. You
Yeah.
really do have to take much larger positions than you would normally like. You are sitting yourself with some pretty big equity change. I mean, look at his equity curve here. It has just rocketed
Yeah.
from the bottom.
Yeah.
But that could have gone at the bottom. That could have gone either way.
Yeah. So when we look at it in a risk-reward perspective, actually, when you think about it, so what's he made? 3,500.
71%.
So say 30% drawdown with a 70% upside. So we're looking at a 2 and a bit risk-reward. Would you be willing to do that?
I'd be okay with a 2 and a bit risk reward, but I mean, do you really think down here is a 2 to 1 or anything a little bit better than that?
Well, you've got to be willing to suffer that drawdown, right?
That's right.
So you've got to
That's right. You got to
sweat through that drawdown
You got to have those nerves
and
of
hold
steel.
on. We're a minute. I'm about to ring the bell.
50 seconds. You can come on.
I'm about to ring the bell.
You've
Don't
been
make
wanting
me
to ring that
oh,
bell
okay.
all night. We're going to come up on the stage to ring
Let's
this
do it.
bell.
Come on,
Now,
guys. We've got
realistically-
43
42
seconds.
left
We're
in
counting
Trading
down.
Cup 2020. Bell in hand. Boy, that was an exciting round. Not
I'm
over
almost,
yet.
yeah, I'm
Anything
almost-
can happen.
I could see
but
you on the edge of your seat.
I was literally.
That was-
I
on
don't
the
even
edge
have
of
a
my
seat, but I'm still on the edge.
Well, listen,
That's-
there was a time that you
Oh my
were
goodness,
implying there was
48%.
a winner, but everything changed, even just in the last 10 minutes.
It's the nature of Trading Cup. No matter what way you look at it, if you think you've got a winner, you're not going to find out until the very last moments. Now we are 10,
9,
well, with 8.
7, 6, 5,
4.
4.
Okay, not
3,
4, 3, 2.
2.
Ring
Oh,
the bell!
that's it.
That's it. Trading Cup 2020 has
Well
finished.
done. Tybo won. Excellent result there.
What a night, what a night.
That-
Talk us through that last round. How impressive is it that we've seen the winning percentage of 72%?
Yeah, that's
Putting it into perspective, the previous 2 Trading Cup competitions we've had were 29% and 9% respectively. So this has smashed both of those out of the park.
Yeah.
You could easily look at this as a home run for our winner tonight, and he should certainly be very, very proud
Yes.
of his achievements.
71 or 72 is impressive, but still,
Yep.
there were other great performances in there as well.
Yeah, looking at maybe 43, 44% for second place, maybe 25 for third place, and maybe about 17, 18% for fourth place. So that's some pretty consistent performers. And these are the guys that have won those monthly competitions. They've been proven. Yuan Su, that's been a big year for Yuan Su. So he qualified twice, came second with something like 600%, and then his subsequent round was about 103%, and now he had to actually qualify to get to the grand final. So he's one of the 4 qualifiers. So in that hour, changed the strategies, managed to get to the grand final, and has placed 4th. That's an incredible result.
Okay, so what turned out to be the winning trade? I mean, I know we don't have everything in front of us right now, but it was gold.
It was gold
Gold,
for a short
gold
position.
was the night.
Yeah.
It was.
Five contracts short. He rode it through as it went against him, which we can see on the drawdown there. So that was when gold rallied up. He's short gold. His equity fell. He was in drawdown of about 30%. Gold then
On the
fell.
bounce.
Yeah, and it went back in his direction. 71%. Thanks for coming.
So the non-farm payroll report did play into the eventual
It absolutely did. It certainly has. I mean, even if you were to look at the idea of what was going on with the dollar index at the moment of release, we saw that little bit of disappointment. We were expecting to see 50. Most people wanted to see better than that in terms of the actual results from how many people were working. Has obviously played on the minds of some of the people around the globe, not just our traders. Our traders may not have even been focusing on what was going on with NFP, but the figures at the end of the day did make an impact on their trading too.
Did it surprise you that we didn't see, it sounded like it surprised you we didn't see more trading of cryptocurrency. We did see a bit,
Yeah.
but not a lot.
I think I was on a little bit of the edge of the fence when
Yeah.
it came to cryptocurrency, because quite often its highest volumes is on the weekend. So whilst you've still got other markets active, cryptocurrency tends to be a little bit down. I think a lot of people have got a little bit of fear factor from what we've seen with Bitcoin and even
the
Ethereum.
volatility around those, it's been huge.
I mean, if you like volatility trading, and most traders do, then cryptocurrency is where you want to be.
Yeah.
The only issue is that the volatility is unpredictable.
Yeah.
Not a lot of trading in the indices themselves, was there?
No. They really just flatline. They didn't move much at all. We might see some more action now. So it's only pretty early in America. So those US indices have got a whole session ahead.
They do.
And
bear in mind, all of the indices, in US indices at least, are flirting, like I've said, I think 3 times so far, about them being near their absolute highs.
Yeah, that's it.
In some instances, whenever you've got any asset class at its maximum high or an all-time new high, you kind of got to have a question about it. You sort of look, is this right? Should I be continuing to watch this go up further?
Okay, so you're one of the traders, one of the top 3 traders. What's going through your mind right now? How fast is your heart beating?
I am immediately on my way to the pub. I am certainly getting in the car with at least 2 beers in each hand, and I am celebrating the whole way there with at least 1 party popper and potentially a kazoo or something. Because that's how I roll.
That's a colourful picture.
You know, it's wonderful to win.
Yeah.
Those traders that did not
Yes.
come top 3,
Yes, yeah.
which we will be bringing you shortly.
Yeah.
What have they learned at the other end of this competition? It's been a long time running.
Yeah.
It had a very tight time frame at the end.
Yeah, that's it, yeah. So we did talk right at the beginning about luck, and you do need your system to sort of line up with the market conditions at the time. We did see it last year, some of the traders, in fact, one of the gentlemen in the 3rd round this year, Gustavo, with his algorithmic trading. Last year, he was in the grand final, he was onside, 9% won it, so he was onside, but after the close of the hour, it kept going in his favour. So sometimes your system isn't quite lining up perfectly for the maximum result, but you're probably on track with a lot of these things. It gives you a perspective as well, like think about how it strengthens your mindset in that hour of power. Like if you'd probably have a lot of confidence now you can trade non-farm payrolls. Yeah, and trade it quite well.
I think as well the experience factor is probably going to play off for these guys next time they want to enter the competition. Having more in the competition going on is going to be very, very important for them for the future. Purely because they now know they have an hour. They need to optimize their strategies before entering the competition. And it's a very different trading compared to what the rest of our competition is. You've got, 30 days in the other ones, whereas this time around it's an hour. 30 days is short. An hour is no time at all.
Yeah, you're just getting warmed up.
Yeah, that's right.
But they all would have learned something now.
Yes.
As a trader, in the wake of this type of experience, do you change strategy? Do good traders always look for ways to improve?
I think all traders will always look for an opportunity, no matter what the circumstance is. Yes, they will be trying to improve. Yes, they'll be trying to get more knowledge, have more understanding, and try and get the best edge that they can. But at the end of the day, in competitions like this, it's not just about getting more understanding. It's also about having more experience. You can understand all the books in the world you want, but unless you can settle with the emotions that these guys would have felt throughout the whole thing, then they're not going to be. They would have had to have nerves of steel to be able to watch that equity curve go down and back up again. So I'm sure after having done that, they've learnt a lot from it either way.
Well, we've learned a lot throughout this evening, the rounds, getting to the grand final of this Trading Cup 2020 powered by ACY Securities. Look, I've got the results in my hands. We've rung the bell.
The official results.
Yeah, the official results.
Okay.
So we're bringing up, I believe, to the stage members from ACY Securities. Some very big checks in hand to give out. So the 3rd place winner, ranking in 3rd place, is Mao Longyang. Mao Longyang with a return of 32.76%.
Well done. Good job.
Trading Cup is coming back to you bigger and better next year. And yeah, just a big congratulations to you. And this check is going to be in the mail to you.
A smaller version. All right, congratulations. Yeah, woo!
Well done.
All right, let's get the ranking number 2, Xun Gong made a percentage gain of 50.67%. Ala, come on up. Ala, you would recognize from our commentary. He's head of the global desk, the global brokerage here at ACY Securities. Xun Gong in 2nd place.
Congratulations to everyone, and special congratulations to Xun Gong coming in 2nd place with over 50% winning. Thank you very much for everyone that watched us tonight, and thanks for everyone that streamed and was online. And we're looking forward to seeing you again next year. Thank you.
Well done.
Okay. The trophy. The trophy.
The winner.
The winner of Trading Cup 2020. Hai Bo Wang, 71.12% to be exact.
That is a brilliant result. That is really quite incredible. That is the record for the grand final. You have out-traded your best trading colleagues in the world to be crowned grand champion. We're so excited for you. We know your life is going to change. There's a nice check, there's a beautiful trophy, but let's see where this takes you. You're probably already a successful trader. You've got the knack for it. You can withstand those drawdowns and then come out the other side, taking home the grand prize and this beautiful check of $63,000. So let's give him a round of applause. Well done. Beautiful.
Congratulations, that is a wrap for Trading Cup 2020. We have been live from ACY Tower here in Sydney, Australia. Wherever you are in the world, we wish you luck in your trading going forward. Thank you.